Hello, happy Tuesday. It is cold, it is grey, it is miserable, but we are coming up to a really powerful full moon. So just before I start, I've got a new camera. I'm recording this on landscape, so it's either going to be amazing for YouTube or it's not going to upload on Facebook. Let's not worry about that. Let's just really think about the energy and think about what is potential for happening this year. So we're really looking into potentials for this week rather than actuals, because it's always going to play out in our own life in a very different way. So we're on Tuesday today, so we're really beginning to feel the shift of the moon into the sign of Aries, where she will go full on Thursday, which will be the 17th. So we've got this transit that's going to go from Pisces, very oracular, very dreamy place, into Aries, and she's going to go from water into fire. And I really feel that we're going to feel that movement in. So as I'm speaking, Pisces is around 28 degrees of, no, the moon's around 28 degrees of Pisces, sorry. So we're just going to wait for that shift. We're going to feel this energy beginning to really build. So on a personal level, you might be getting to the point where it's been very difficult to sleep at a full moon. You might be feeling that your brain is doing a lot at the moment. You are really struggling to rest. But conversely, in the light worker world, in the ascension world in which we are inhabiting, we're also finding it very difficult to be awake and to be quite cognitive. Some of us are finding that we are just crashing and burning at the moment. So whichever camp you fall into, really make sure that you are looking after yourself. If you are in, and I'm kind of putting myself in this one, the exhausted, permanently kind of attached to the drip of coffee to keep you going, but unable to switch your mind off, it is really super important that you start to look after yourself. Nap when you need to nap, take the breaks, walk away from your screen, get out in nature, get grounded, stay hydrated. If you're struggling to switch your brain off and you're even struggling to meditate and sit in a place of quiet, I always like to find a piece of music that inspires me, a piece of music where I can either truly listen to all the words, or I can just sit and let the music wash over me so that my brain starts to switch off. So lots of things we can be doing to really reclaim our own energy at the moment. So this powerful full moon is going to be at 24 degrees of Aries, and the sun is going to be in Libra. And with the sun in Libra, she's very much about bringing us balance, very much about bringing us justice into our lives. When we have the moon in tempestuous, really fiery Aries, there's going to be a little bit of conflicting energy. It may be that the sun is really highlighting for you where is something out of balance, yet the moon comes in Aries and kind of throws a kind of petrol on it to, burn it down to the ground, rather than taking that really balanced view. So this week, looking at the astrology as a whole, looking at the chart for this week, we really find that the key themes, the key energetic themes rather than the planetary themes, is about tempers being really inflamed. There's a real need to burn away some of the things, some of the old things in our life. So we're talking about that Pluto going direct in Capricorn, that last trailblaze of Capricornian energy being burnt down. But we're also really looking at some very tense energies. A lot of fireworks going off, a lot of very sharp words, very explosive words coming out as well. So we've got Mercury, the planet of communication, has just gone into the first few degrees of Scorpio. So Scorpio is a brilliant sign, but it can be very blunt, it can be very direct. Your words with Mercury in Scorpio can often have a sting in the tail, and it can be quite, I'm just going to get my book because I want to refer to something in a minute, can be quite sharp. So be aware of this. Really think about your communication this week. And often when we're talking about the planets, about full moons, It is often about communication, because this is the biggest way that we craft and weave the manifestations in our life, weave the magic within our lives, by speaking our spells, by really casting and creating what we want to do in the world. So a couple of things that really stood out when I was tuning into the energy. So the way that I work, just to explain for those of you who have not listened before, is I look at the chart and then I put the chart to one side and I really tune into the energetics. I tune in to the messages of the cosmos which are going to come through. But one of the big thing is stop adding petrol to the fire. And if you are going to be in the firing line of somebody's words, stand up, pull your shoulders back, look at them with compassion. Do not fire a salvo back and get into a war of words, get into a war of energy. I'm seeing this a lot at the moment, that we are mirrors for other people to project their shadow on. So we are going into Scorpio season, we're going into this Pluto direct in Capricorn. This is real dredging up of some of the really unpleasant parts of self, both personally and collectively, coming up. Sit with your shadow, do the work that you need to do to alchemize and transform. But the most important thing is, if someone is kicking off, if someone is being blunt and direct and adding their scorpion stinger, and their words are fired at you, or they're exploding their tempers at you, it's really about you and how you act. Can you act with compassion? Can you understand their frustration? Can you hold the space to let them do what they need to, but not take it so personally that you are going to fire back? We do not want to add petrol. We do not want to be the firework if you feel that you are going to explode. So I am Aries sun, Sag rising, Sag moon. The opportunities for me to burst out into a tirade and anger and war of words can be quite high at times. You know, it's something I've worked on for years, ever since I was a child with a really explosive temper, but it still can come out. It's having that control to be able to really bite your tongue, to take a couple of deep breaths, turn away, and then I tend to either explode in the car personally, or I just go away and I explode into my journal. You know, firing out bullets this time round is not going to work. It's going to get easier by the weekend, but there's this real build up, this real tense energy at the moment. And I'm just looking outside and it's really dark and it's really dull and it's really grey, and you know, a little firework would really spice up this grey day, but it's where we don't want to be at the moment. The guidance that came through for me this morning when I was channeling my personal messages was, if you need to, you really have to sit this moon out. Let everything explode around you and sit it out. Go and sit on the sidelines. You know, it's like when you are watching people swim, you've got to go and sit on the sidelines. Just watch everybody do what they need to do and step away from it all. And the one thing I wanted to share with you is I often channel for myself every morning, and the message that came through today was kind of quite pertinent for all of us. So this very much comes from Aries, the goddess of the stars, and it's mixed a little bit, I can feel, with one of my galactic guides as well. And they said to us, beloveds, reaching the full moon in Aries will be for many an explosive event, triggering emotions within the exchange of many sharp words. There is nothing to do other than watch it all play out, like you are watching a play, yet without investing emotion in the drama and the direction of others. Step back and allow their drama to play out. Be invested in only what brings you joy and what your heart wishes you to do, staying deep within internal silence and within your energy. It's almost like you want to sit out this moon and wait for the energies to come to pass, to not become embroiled within others' energies and dramas. Make this a period of internal reflection. Create your own personal rituals and release. The drama of many will be establishing as Luna moves past the final degrees of the fish mother and into the fiery cauldron of Aries. So from Pisces to Aries. Become energy conscious. sharing only with those who are worthy. Let others crumble without resistance. And then when you survey the rubble with dispassionate purpose, knowing that all has been removed for the highest good, be at peace and be still, for we are you and you are us. And that very much is around detachment. It's allowing everything to crumble and then looking at the wreckage, and rather than being invested in the drama, go quietly, clear up the wreckage, build your really firm foundations. It feels like it is going to be a turbulent couple of days, but we are more than capable of riding out this energy. If you're not sure, sit this full moon out, do your own stuff. Do not get involved in the dramatics that are about to explode globally, personally, collectively, but also within our communities of light. Detach from any drama that might be coming up. This is going to be a really triggering 5 weeks or so. So diving into the shadow can be deeply uncomfortable, and if you're ready to dive into the shadow, you want to know more about your shadow self, and this is not for the faint-hearted, okay? These are for the light workers, those on the ascension pathway who are really ready to face the black obsidian mirror and stare into it. I am going to be offering shadow astrology readings through the whole of Scorpio season, so starting on the 23rd of October to 22nd of November, she says, not quite a check, but basically from around the 20th of October to the end of November, I'm going to be offering some one-off shadow readings where you can really dive deep into your charts. So if that is something of interest to you, while I get all the tech set up to do that, just drop me a comment below or drop me a DM and we can get those sorted out. It is a really potent time to alchemize, transform, and really integrate your shadow, and your birth chart can really show you the wounds, the shadow that we've brought forward in this life to alchemize. So enough from me. I am sending you so much love. I hope this all uploads as I want it to. If it hasn't uploaded as I want it to and you've got a tiny screen on Facebook, I do apologize. I'll work it out at some point. So much love. Have an amazing week and just release, surrender to this full moon and step back from all the drama that's about to unfold. Take care.